We prop ourselves up on these platforms labeled dignity, ideals, beliefs, and so forth. But if we truly grasp why we do this, the shame of past failures fades away. You simply become who you are, no pedestal needed. When there's no stage to stand on and no lofty height to measure yourself against, there's no need to hide from what's inside. Trying to escape who you are creates all sorts of conflict, shame, and resentment. So learn to notice yourself as you really are, without making excuses or resisting. Live with it, without labeling it or fearing it. Fear only dulls our capacity for understanding. Someone once asked, "What's the role of thinking in our daily life?" Well, thinking can help us reason clearly and solve problems effectively. But if our minds are tangled in personal beliefs, desires for success, and cravings for self-satisfaction, we're not really thinking clearly at all. It's like trying to see the sky through a muddied lens. Just look at what ambition has done to the world. We rarely stop to question it. Whenever someone struggles to outdo others or chase after something, if you peer into their heart, you'll see the seed of fear. The most ambitious person is often the most fearful because they're afraid of who they might be if they're not somebody. So they tell themselves, I must be an engineer, a judge, a politician, anything that proves I'm important. People sometimes ask, if I want to be an engineer, can't that just mean I'm enthusiastic? So let's be clear, ambition generally grows out of fear. But if I simply love building things, if I'm lit up by designing beautiful houses, creating the best water systems, constructing sturdy roads, then there's no fear in that. It's not ambition, it's passion. If I love painting, I don't have to be the most famous artist in town. I just love the very act of painting. There's no need to compare myself with someone else. That joy is enough. When you're young, it matters far less where society ranks you. What's far more important is waking up your own intelligence and discovering your talents. That will naturally guide you to your calling. Once you find work that resonates with you, you'll love it for a lifetime. And when you truly love what you do, ambition and competition won't consume you. You won't be desperate for status or locked in battles with others for prestige. Then maybe, just maybe, you can help shape a new world, one free of the old baggage of violence, conflict, distant gods, and hollow rituals. That's why education is so crucial. Real learning helps us grow into whole, happy human beings, unburdened by fear. Right now, our world looks like one big battlefield. We're taught to measure ourselves against everyone else, to climb the next rung of the ladder. In this struggle, there's no room for love or genuine concern, only the drive to become somebody. A council member wants to be mayor, a mayor wants to be prime minister, and so on. People applaud this endless climb and call it ambition. Our parents and elders, who carry their own fears, often push us to follow the same path. We play along because the promise of success seems so alluring. But here's why it's vital to find your true calling. When you discover that one thing you can pour yourself into, you no longer chase ambition. You simply give yourself to what you love. There's nothing fearful or desperate about giving your best to what you find beautiful or meaningful. We're always sizing ourselves up. If I'm slow, I want to be faster. If I'm shallow, I want to be deeper. If I'm ignorant, I want to be wise. I compare myself to someone else. Maybe their car is fancier, their house is nicer, their mind is sharper. But comparison spawns conflict. Can you truly understand something when you're busy comparing it? If you compare two paintings, two sunsets, or two people, you never fully see either of them. So is it possible to live without comparing yourself to some ideal or to those around you? Because the moment you measure yourself against what should be, you miss the reality of what is. It's simple, but we often overlook it. If a teacher compares a child to some other bright student, it tears that child down, and that habit of comparing can follow them for the rest of their life. we assume comparing ourselves to others motivates growth. But think about it. If you're always measuring one painting against another, you're not really seeing either one. Try living without comparison, without weighing yourself against heroes, ideals, or holy figures. When the mind isn't trapped in comparison, it settles into a state of freedom and vibrant clarity, because it's finally attending to what is here and now. As long as your chief aim is success, you'll be haunted by the fear of failure. That's why glorifying success can be so damaging, on the tennis court, in business, in politics, or anywhere else. The hunger for success stirs up constant conflict inside us and with others, fueling envy, competition, hostility, even war. Young people often start off questioning these values, but soon they conform. They want security, good jobs, and acceptance from society. Before long, the light of that questioning spirit dims, and they slip into the safety of ordinary hopes, a steady career, maybe a wealthy partner. It's the same old search for security, and when a mind is locked on security, it can't see the bigger picture. To act wisely, you have to realize how your own prejudices, cultural, national, religious, keep you separate from others. Only then can action flow from a deeper understanding, rather than a thirst for success. Life is like a bottomless well. You can lower a small bucket and bring up just a little water, or you can lower a big one and fill it to the brim. Youth is such a perfect time to experiment and explore. Schools should help young people discover their gifts, find their responsibilities, and grow into whole, fearless beings. Not just cram them with data and technical skills. Ideally, a school is a place where you can learn to be a complete human being, free of fear, ready to draw deeply from all that life has to offer.